Welcome to episode 1, video 1 of the brand new series. My podcast is my portfolio, fully inspired by my time in the AIGA DC Shine mentorship. I wanted to have a space where I could kind of talk about my creative process and all of the learnings and growth that has occurred over this past year so far from being in the program. So enjoy episode 1, V is for Visionary. So it's like Q&A interview style, okay? Question 1, explain the inspiration behind my podcast is my portfolio. So my podcast is my portfolio is essentially like a live case study. Ever since, I started doing podcasting, it's been like brand building one-on-one to me from somebody who did not have a background in marketing. Years later, I am in my first marketing job. My resume is packed to the brim with experiences that have been self-generated just from wanting to learn how to do them for my podcast, from graphic design, a little typography, video editing, podcast production, social media marketing, all these things. This is a space where I can share more about my journey. I talk a lot, in the earlier episodes of my podcast about like faith over fear. Tapping into this part of being a creative was something that was very daunting to me. And even doing this video, this new series, I've been having to overcome a lot of doubt in the throes of is what I have to say very valuable? Is it really important? But it is, and so we're gonna talk about it. Next question, what were my intentions going into the AIGA mentorship experience? My huge goal, and my mentor Katrina and I will probably cackle at this now, I fully wanted to learn Photoshop. I wanted to learn Photoshop. I create a lot of graphics for my podcast. A huge content pillar of mine is music, and so I really wanted to learn how to create graphics that made lyrics pop more. That was my initial goal. But underlying all of that, I knew that I needed a space for the podcast to live that was not on social media, and so I really wanted to do a website. And so I love my mentor. She gave me options. She was like, okay, well, we can do a hybrid approach where you're learning Photoshop and you're building the website. You can get these key learnings from each, blend them together. I find that in my creative whatever, I take on a lot of things and I do a lot of things at once, and sometimes it's hard to finish one thing because I have 10 other things in the queue. Even throughout this mentorship experience, I was still trying to become a more credible designer, and I thought learning Photoshop was gonna do that for me. But actually being honest with my mentor about where I was in my creative process, where I was with my podcast, we decided that I am building a brand essentially, and a brand does need a website. It's not that my skills, even though it's largely with Canva now, are not credible, but if doing all this work for the podcast, what is my goal? What am I leading myself towards? And so I really wanted to have a space where I had a calendar of events. I really wanted to have a space where I shared more of my graphics that may have gotten lost within the algorithm. And I just wanted a more permanent place for merch and for my blogs. I write my own newsletter, and I just feel like what I'm doing with the podcast is unique. It's not just a podcast. It is content strategy. It is creative directing, event curation, so many things into one. And I just wanted to have a space where I talk about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how I'm doing it, because again, I just feel like it can help someone. Check that, clock that. Next question,